Emily.
Sorry, my name's Robert from the Sunday Sun.
Right.
Paper. Can you tell me who this man is?
It looks slightly like the guy standing there. Looks like
The guy from
the little one.
The guy from Antic Dead.
Yeah, what's the little
Dead.
Yeah, the little one, yeah.
Declan Donnelly.
Yeah.
Okay. This is actually Nick Clegg. He's the leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Alright, yes.
I don't think he's the first person not to recognise it. Okay, well thanks anyway. We went out to the streets and we asked 20 people if they had heard of Nick Clegg.
Yeah.
3 of them had, and 1 person was able to tell us what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Brian Mayer, 27 of Sunderland, would like to know, are you worried so many people don't seem to know who you are?
No, I'm not worried at all. I'm very realistic about these things. It takes time. I've become a leader of the Liberal Democrats at the beginning of this year. I didn't expect some great thunderclap to sound above the nation and everyone say, "Hallelujah, Nick Clegg, we now know who he is." This takes time. You take time to introduce yourself to people.
This is from Leroy Jackson, 39, who is actually homeless at the moment. He'd like to know what it is you most look forward to about going home at night.
I'll see my children and my wife, see my family, and if Leroy doesn't have a roof over his head, my heart goes out to him, because for me to be able to go back home and see my wife and my children in a safe, secure, warm environment, yes, it's a huge privilege.
Do you regret divulging any details about your sex life?
I certainly regret that it became sort of overshadows the things I believe in: a fairer Britain, a greener Britain. What do we do in the world? How do we get through the economic crisis? But the last thing you can do in politics is start, worrying about the way things come out, or in this case, or the case you're referring to, the way things are then interpreted and reinterpreted and misinterpreted. They kind of take a life of their own. You say something which is perfectly understandable in a particular context, and then suddenly within a millisecond it sort of develops a life of its own, and there's no point starting to regret or worry about that.
Were you ever concerned you might be seen as bragging?
I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm not at all a brag. I think anybody also who knows me knows that I give honest answers, which then of course get wildly misinterpreted, which is what I think happened. But I don't spend too much time worrying about it.
Okay. And just touching on that incident again very quickly, when your old school friends or your brothers found out about it, how did they react?
You can imagine, and I'm not going to start saying to what my family or my friends start saying to me. I have a private life.
Janet Charlton, 40, from Gateshead, would like to know, how do you choose where you go on holiday, and do you take the toiletries left in the bathrooms or hotel rooms home with you?
I don't actually have much of a choice, because I always go to my in-laws, and we don't even go to a hotel. I just stay with my mother and brother-in-law, who live in a village in the middle of Spain. My wife is Spanish, so in a sense those choices take care of themselves.
John Paul Carrigan, 27, from Sunderland, would like to know, when was the last time you put a bet on, and have you got any good tips for us?
Do you know, this might sound... I've never ever placed a bet. Never. I mean, I don't have any sort of religious or moral objection to it. I've just never got into it.
Guy Stevenson, 56, from Gateshead, would like to know if you have any advice for Newcastle fans at the moment as they go through all of their ups and downs.
Well, not to lose faith. I mean, Newcastle is an amazing club, and it's the fans are just known to be probably more, certainly as if not more passionate than almost any other group of fans anywhere else.
Tom Hyam, 25, from Gateshead, would like to know, what's your favourite kind of pizza, and if someone asked you for a slice, would you be prepared to share with them?
I think my favourite is ham and pineapple. A classic, but I do like it. Would I share a slice of it? Well, entirely depends how big the slice is. I mean, if they took a whopping great big slice, then I might object. But if it's a small-ish or more modest slice, of course I would share it.